Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I got another deck profile for you guys today. This time it's an update on my Sky Striker deck for the duration of the September of 2019 format, moving into October. And I figured I'd go and show you guys like what I got this time around, just because there's a chance this deck could get hit on the next ban list. I could potentially just see Engage going to 1. But is that going to kill the deck? Not necessarily. The deck can still play very well, even with Engage at 1. They'll just have to run like different draw power. We'll most likely see the Card of Demise variant. Cards like Pot of Duality might start being used more, so we'll just have to wait and see like what happens in the future for Sky Strikers. But it's still a good deck to pick up, fairly low budget. The only real expensive card is There Can Only Be One, but it's getting reprinted in Dual Devastator anyway, so everyone should have easy access to that card anyway. So, yeah, and it's just a really fun control deck overall. So, anyway, let's go and get started. Alright, so for monsters, of course, you're only going to be playing 3 copies of Ray. Gotta play this at 3 just because, she is, the heart and soul of the deck. Gives you access to all your Link monsters. Plus, her ability is also a quick effect where you contribute to special summon a Link monster. So, yeah, Ray definitely needed. And you definitely want to see this as quick as you possibly can. And we're already moving to hand traps, so I'm playing 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Veiler, and one of my personal favorites, 2 copies of Ghost Ogre. Just because, Ogre is really good in this format. It's good against pendulums. It's just, a really good card overall. You could actually use this against Orcus. Just hit that Nightmare Mermaid. At first, I was thinking, like, you want to Ash Blossom the Mermaid, but I'm starting to think you want to Ogre it more because even if they get that free summon, they have to, like, change up their plan overall because, like, they usually go into Orchestrated Nightmare and then into Galatea with Mermaid, so that's just my theory behind it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the monsters. Now we're moving on to spells. Gotta play 3 Engage. And again, even if this card goes to 1, it will affect the consistency, but the deck can still adapt even if Engage eventually goes to 1. 3 Widowmaker, this is one of the best cards in the entire deck, just for forms of disruption. 3 Area 0. You could play it at 2 if you wanted to. I'm just playing it at 3 because, again, you definitely need to see that Ray. So if you play this, you pop it, you get a free Ray, basically. 2 Shark Cannon. This basically acts as Called by the Grave, but it's just a good way just to take your opponent's monsters from grave and then just link off with them, and it's just a good way to extend. So Shark Cannon definitely at 2. I would recommend it. For one-ofs, playing 1 multi-roll. It's at 1 for a reason. Hornet Drones, Eagle Booster, Afterburner, Jamming Waves, and another form of Recursion Hercules base. So definitely need to run these. All amazing cards in their own right, so yeah. Alright, so moving on with our spells. Playing 2 copies of Pot of Desires. We're running a bunch of 3 of, so Pot of Desires rarely hurts this deck at all, so as long as you can go full combo, you should be just fine. Playing 2 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. Only 2 just because, it's a good way just to get around Floodgates, and if you need to pop that field spell, it's just a good way to go combo off as well. 2 Foolish Barrier of Goods. Definitely be able just to, add more spells to the grave because, the deck relies on having 3 or more spells a majority of the time, so yeah. And for the rest of our one-ofs, I got Metalfoes Fusion, Rhoda, and lastly Terraforming. And that's it. And for traps, I'm just going to go and play them out here. I only run the 3. There can only be 1. And that's it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the main deck. That's 40 cards. So now we're going to go and move on to our extra deck like we always do. Alright, so starting off, gotta play the 1 Kigari. It's at 1. So, yeah. And I just got the Prismatic Secret, so I'm really happy with that. 3 Shizuku. Definitely gotta play this at 3. 3 Hayate. I was running 2 before, but I kept getting... there was one deck that kept out-resourcing me, mainly Magical Muskets. If they can go off more than you can, then they can easily out-resource you. And usually Sky Striker is a good matchup against that deck, but if they get the upper hand, it could be tough. So I decided to bump up my Hayate because my opponent actually banished both copies of it. So, yeah. Bump down Sky Striker Ace Kaina to 1 because, you really don't need 2 of these. So you mainly just need to bring it out whenever you have to. So Kaina, definitely a great card just to give you a little extra advantage. I'm playing Hita. Really good against the Salamangreat matchup, so pretty good. I know this card was being teched in, so Barricade Board Blocker. This is just a good way to protect your continuous or field spells, so yeah, your opponent can't target them, so as long as this card is out on the field. So you summon this, play multi-roll, and go from there. Your opponent cannot touch multi-roll by any means. For Nightmares, I'm running Phoenix, and of course Unicorn. And for the rest of our Link monsters, I'm running Ningirsu for non-targeting spot removal. Topologic Bomber Dragon, which is being used a lot more now, so I decided to bring that in. And lastly, Boral Sword Dragon. And yeah, that's it. Alright, so now we're moving on to the side deck. Side deck's relatively standard. I did make some slight changes, but overall, it's not too drastic. Playing 3 Artifact Lancia still. Definitely a good way to deal with Orcust and Thunder players. 3 Shared Ride for any Search Heavy deck, or just the mirror match overall. I'm playing Mystic Mine on the side, as well as Set Rotation. I always, like, if I'm going second, I like to play this. Set Mystic Mine on my own side of the field if my opponent already has full board. Play Mystic Mine and just lock him out, and then MST the field spell that I give him being the Area 0, and I can still like go full combo without any form of disruption. Another card that's easy to side out with there can only be one. Summon Limit. Really good because, you know, the deck isn't built on like spamming boards. It's just, you know, you mainly just stick with one Link monster and that's it. So Summon Limit really does not hurt this deck by any means. And for any back row heavy strategy, you know, like traps and all that stuff, Red Reboot. Because the one card that could actually kill me are two cards rather, are Anti-Spell Fragrance and Impure Order. If I can't get around those, then I pretty much lost. So Red Reboot, definitely a better option. Well, that's all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will catch you guys again next time.